Hello, I'm Dan, and this is Dan Explains. You probably heard someone say the word YOLO. Usually, they do it just before they're trying to do something they shouldn't. That, of course, is not why the phrase is heresy, which it is for all Christians, although it does indicate why it is, which I'll get back to near the end of the video, so watch the video through. As many of you are aware, YOLO is short for You Only Live Once, because, we all eventually die, but it is heresy. Let me explain why. Over the years, I've heard lots of people say YOLO, even Christians. It's a seemingly innocent phrase, usually used in the context of letting yourself do something that you wouldn't normally do, often dangerous, unhealthy, or sinful, just to experience it at least once in this life. If the phrase was YOLO, or you only live this life once, it would still fit and not be heresy. Although it's kind of a useless phrase, even if you believe in reincarnation, which is also a heresy for Christians, by the way. So, if reincarnation is heresy, and YOLO is also heresy, aren't I being self-contradictory? Well, no, if you're a Christian, you'll know that you live exactly twice. The first finite life, followed by the infinite second life. What we do in this short finite life determines how we spend our infinite second life. Since it's Christians who are waiting for Jesus' second coming and the final resurrection. Although you could say that we live 3 lives if you include the first resurrection, which is the one for our particular judgment, immediately after our deaths. Since you can't really call the people in heaven spiritually dead, they are alive in Christ. However, humans are not our souls. We're a union between our souls and our bodies. And after we die, but before the final resurrection, our body is dead. So, I'm not including that because it's not a life in the same sense that we have now. Now that might sound fishy to some, since we're not being reincarnated, we're being resurrected. I mean, wouldn't that mean the people that Jesus resurrected from the dead, like Lazarus, lived 3 times? Not really, because they were resurrected back into the same fallen nature and same fallen bodies. We have to remember we're not being given back our same life. Everything will be made new again through Christ. Not just spiritually new, as happens at baptism, but physically new. We're not just being given back this same old mortal fallen life. Spiff it up with no fallen and no mortal and a whole lot more life. Some of the other things that indicate the resurrected life will be a different one, is that it will have a more focused purpose. God. In this life we have several purposes, like procreating, for instance. It's supposed to be God-centered, but it's less focused. After the final resurrection, there won't be things like procreating, at least not in the way we know it. Consider the occasion when the Sadducees, who didn't believe in the resurrection, challenged Jesus with the question of whose wife a woman would be if she had married 5 men who all died, but had no children with any of them, to which Jesus told them they didn't understand. There will be no marriage after the resurrection. Consider that marriage is an unbreakable covenant, as Jesus stated in Matthew 19:6 and Mark 10:9. The covenant ends when the spouse dies. From Jesus' response to the Sadducees, we can see that the marriage covenant is not picked back up again after the resurrection, even though most of us spent most of this life trying to maintain our marriage covenant. Okay, I think I've beaten the dead horse for long enough here. You may remember earlier I said that the use of the phrase YOLO hints at why it's a heresy. Doing something just in case you don't get another chance implies there is no second life. I think for many Christians, they just aren't thinking about that aspect of it. Although there is another motivation for saying YOLO. They want to commit a sin, and know they won't be able to sin in their next life. So they say YOLO, which denies the second life and ignores the consequences the sinful action they're about to take has on their second life. In the back of their minds, they know there will be a resurrection. So they decide to commit the sin because they know they won't be able to after the resurrection. Perhaps Christians should get into the habit of saying YOLT, or you only live twice, instead of YOLO, when faced with something physically dangerous or sinful. Not only does it remind you that if the thing you're about to do is just out of the ordinary but innocuous, you will have your entire second life to do it. Also, if it's dangerous but not sinful, your resurrected body will not be able to be harmed. Lastly, if it is sinful, the only way we can wreck our second life is by committing sin in this one. In the end, we will all experience the final resurrection, including the damned, who will then be cast into hell and locked away. So our second life can either be lived forever in the new heavens and the new earth, or live forever in a dark pit. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please press the like button. Subscribe to my channel and ding the bell to get notified when I post new videos. Also, please support me on Patreon, link in the description. The more people support me, the more time I can dedicate to making videos like this one. So, until next time, have a great week.